Hi, my dear friends. Welcome to this new class. And we are studying about natural vegetation and wildlife in India. And yesterday we had a little bit of introduction about in general how much of wildlife resources we have, natural resources we have, natural life and wildlife. We said we have 47,000 species of plants are there, and India holds the 10th rank in the world and 4th rank in Asia. Then about 15,000 flowering plants we have. Then 89,000 animal species we have. So all that shows that India is a rich country in this natural vegetation and wildlife. So today let us see what are the things that are affecting the growth of wildlife or the growth of natural vegetation from place to place. We don't find same animal everywhere in India. We don't find same type of plant everywhere in India. What makes the difference? What is found in one region, why it is not found in another region? That is what we are going to see today. So take your textbook, page number 42. You will study about the relief. What is the relief? I hope you understand what is the term by relief. So under relief we are going to study about two things. One is about land, another one is about soil. So let's see what is relief. Relief means the physical features of India. That is a relief. So first let us see about land. What is the type of land we have? So land affects the natural vegetation directly and indirectly. So the growth of vegetation, natural vegetation, depends on the type of land that we have. We know if the land is very fertile, plenty of trees will be growing there. If the land is rocky or like desert, then hardly any trees will be growing there. So it depends on the type of land that we have. And we have different type of land. Some are hilly land, some are plain land, some are valley land. So different types of lands are there. So all depends affecting the growth of vegetation. Let's see how. So do you expect the same type of trees in mountainous places, in plateau and plain areas, or in the dry and wet regions? So we have different type of lands are there. We have mountain places are there, mountainous regions, plateau regions are there, that is plain area, and we have also the plain area like valley or the plateaus that are raised up and the level areas. So different types of lands are there. Mountainous regions, plateau region and the plain area. Then also we have the wet areas are there. Always water is available, rain is available. Or some areas there is hardly any rain, it is very dry region. So do you expect the same type of vegetable will grow in all these places? Will it grow? The trees, it will not grow in all these places. So each land will allow the growth of trees or vegetation that are suiting to that land, suiting to the climate of that land. So in a dry region, the trees that are growing there will be able to survive with little water, and the water that needs the tree that needs plenty of water will be growing in the valley region or plain region and so on. So the nature of land influences the type of vegetation. So the type of land that we have, that is affecting the type of nature of vegetation growing there. The trees that are growing on the hillside will not be found in the valley. Valley will have different type of vegetation. So the land is affecting what type of trees will grow there. The undulating, the fertile level is generally devoted to agriculture. We know that. In our country, the most fertile land will be used for cultivation, agriculture. So we will not allow the trees to grow in the most fertile land, otherwise we will be the loser. So we will always allow the fertile land for cultivation of paddy, wheat or some other crops. And the undulating and rough terrains are areas where grassland and woodlands develop and give shelter to a variety of animals. And the undulating and rough area, undulating means up and down like hills. So the hilltops which are not level, some going high then coming down, again going up, so that is called undulating areas. So such kind of areas, and also rough areas which are not smooth at all, the soil is rocky and rough. So such kind of areas are devoted for growth of natural vegetation or forest. And in that forest what happens? The wild animals also take shelter. So such a land where we cannot use for cultivation, that kind of land is used for allowing the growth of natural forest, natural vegetation, and their animals also take shelter. If those natural forests are not there, what happens? Those animals will come and enter into the village and will destroy our agriculture, destroy our houses, or even attack human beings. So such kind of problems are there. So forest is an essential area, essential place. So we cannot say forest is simply wasting or occupying the land. It is a must, and therefore we must make sure that there are enough areas for the growth of forests, so that the animals are also taking shelter there. And the second relief feature is the soil, the type of soil. So long we are talking about the shape of the land, whether it is a plain area or hilly area or plateau area and so on. Now we are going to talk about what kind of soil is there. In every place the soil is not same. We have studied early about different type of soil, like black soil, laterite soil and red soil. So many types of soils we have already learned. So let us see about what kind of soil is good for the growth of vegetation. What are the type of soil that are good for growth of the cultivation and so on. So the soils are very over space. So over the space of the earth, the soils are not same. They vary. They are different from place to place. Different types of soils provide basis for different types of vegetation. So different soils are supporting growth of different types of vegetation. So in one area maybe let's say alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is very good for agriculture. Let's say another area may be black soil, that is good for cotton cultivation. There may be another type of soil which is supporting another type of vegetation. So it depends on the type of soil, what kind of tree is going to grow there. The sandy soils of the desert support cactus. So in the desert area we know it is sandy soil which cannot retain much water, and there the type of trees that are growing are cactus. They do not need much water. So the cactus are growing in the sandy region because there is lack of water and the sandy soil. Then thorny bushes are also found there. Thorny bushes also, they need less water since they do not have much leaves. Their leaves are like thorns, and therefore they do not lose much water in this hot desert region. So cactus and the thorny plants are growing in the desert regions. But in the place where there is plenty of water available, marshy and the deltaic soils, what are growing there? Mangroves. Mangroves means the evergreen trees that are growing in the watery place, in the shallow watery places, that is called mangroves. So such kind of places where there is water is available, or where it is deltaic region, where the rivers are bringing down a lot of soil from the top of the mountains and they spread it around, that is called deltaic region. In such kind of places, what type of trees are growing? The types of trees that are growing there are mangrove. They are called mangrove. That means they are evergreen trees. So since water is available, they never shed the leaves. Always they have leaves. So some other trees which are they want to preserve the water in the body, they shed the leaves in certain seasons. But these trees are growing in the watery place, therefore they don't need to shed the leaves and save the water. There is plenty of water available. So such kind of watery places, evergreen trees like mangroves are growing there. And also the deltaic vegetation, the vegetation that is growing there in the deltaic region. The hill slopes with some depth of soil have conical trees. So the hills, some of the hills will be full of rock, there may not be soil at all. But some hills, they have got certain amount of soil is there. And in such kind of hills, what kind of tree will grow there? The trees are called conical trees. What are these conical trees? They are a type of trees with no leaves at all. They have a very thick stem is there, but without leaves. So that are the type of trees growing on the mountain tops where there are some kind of soil is there, depth of the soil. So let's see again. In the dry place, in the desert place, what are the trees growing there? Cactus and thorny bushes, because there is not much water. But in a watery place, what kind of trees are growing there? Mangroves, that are evergreen trees, and all in the hills which have got certain depth of, certain amount of soil is there, that will be conical trees, which have got very fleshy stem. The stem will be very fleshy, very thick, and there will be hardly any leaves on that. That are the type of trees growing there. So we see about two factors that are affecting the growth or the support of natural vegetation in India. One is the shape of the land, another one is the type of the soil. So depending on the shape of the land, whether it is hilly region or desert region or valleys or plains, different types of trees are growing there. So the trees that are growing in the valley may not be growing on the hilltop. Hilltop, another type of tree will be there. Then in the desert region, again different type of tree will be growing there. Then the soil also, in the desert region, there will be no good trees will be growing there because of lack of water. Cactus and bushy plants will be growing there, thorny plants. Then if you go to the watery places, the marshy places, we will find big trees are growing there, evergreen trees are growing there. They are called mangroves. And in the hilltop, if you go where there is no soil at all, tree cannot grow. But if there are some amount of soil is there, then we will find some kind of trees are growing there, and they are specially meant for that type of places, high altitude and with less soil. So they are known as conical trees. Now there are again some more factors are there which can affect the growth of natural vegetation in India. They are under the topic climate. So under relief we have 2. Now under climate, let's see which are the factors that are affecting the growth of natural vegetation. So first one is temperature. Let's say short form, temperature. So let's see how the temperature is affecting the growth of natural vegetation. The character and the extent of vegetation are mainly determined by temperature along with humidity in the air, precipitation and soil. So the place which has got different temperatures, the trees are also different accordingly. So in the temperature along with humidity in the air, we know sometimes air is very humid, sometimes air is very dry and so on. So the humidity in the air, then the precipitation, that is the rainfall or the snowfall, that is called precipitation, and the type of soil, that is all affecting the growth of vegetation. We know when there is heavy rainfall, trees will be growing very lavishly. Like the equator region which receives very high rainfall and very good sunshine, the trees are growing very well, lavishly, very healthy. But if it is moving towards the North Pole, the temperature becomes low and low, and the rain also becomes low and low, and the trees become less and less. The forest become thinner and thinner. So during along the equator we will find the forests that are much more stronger than the polar regions. So that is because of the lack of rain and due to lack of the temperature in the polar region, there are very few trees growing. Then on the slopes of Himalayas and the hills or the peninsula above the height of 915 meters, the fall in the temperature affects the types of vegetation and its growth and changes it from tropical to subtropical temperate and alpine vegetation. So if you go to the Himalaya, the heights of the Himalayas, which are above 915 meters, the fall in the temperature affects the types of vegetation and its growth. So as we go higher and higher, the temperature is falling, temperature is becoming less and less. That's why if you go to the mountain tops, Everest, the temperature will be very less and you will be feeling very cold there. So as we go higher and higher, the temperature is falling, the temperature becomes less and less. So because of that, the type of vegetation that is growing there are also affected. So what is growing at the foothills of Himalaya, at the bottom of Himalaya, will not be seen at the top of the Himalaya. The trees will be different. It is because of the difference in the temperature. Then and it changes from tropical to subtropical temperate and alpine vegetation. So as we go from down to top, the downside it is tropical temperature, and as we go higher and higher it becomes subtropical temperature, and therefore it is changing from subtropical and changing into alpine vegetation. What is alpine vegetation? It is what is growing on top of the mountain, that is called alpine vegetation. The trees or the forests that are found on top of the mountains, high mountains, they are known as alpine vegetation. So keep in mind, don't forget what is alpine vegetation. The vegetation that is found on top of the hill, that is known as alpine vegetation. Then we can also see there is a table provided here. You can see in your textbook very clearly that temperatures are mentioned there. So in the tropical region, subtropical region, temperate region and alpine region, what are temperatures. We can see very clearly. In the tropical region, the average temperature is about 24 degrees Celsius. In the tropical region, the average temperature is about 24 degrees Celsius. That is a good climate, not very hot and not very cold. Then, if you go to the month of January, it will be above 18. January is the winter season, and even in the winter season in this tropical region they will have temperature above 18 degree. Other times it will be above 24 degree, but even in the winter it will not come down too much. It will be above 18 levels. And what is the result? If the temperature is always high, there will be no frost, there will be no snowfall, and so snow will be melting away. Then in the subtropical region, so as we go from tropical region, when next we find subtropical regions, and we will find the average temperature will be, the annual average temperature will be between 17 degree to 24 degree. That means it will be below 24 degree and it will be above 17 degree. So between 17 to 24 degree Celsius, that will be the temperature. Then in the winter season, in January, the temperature will be between 10 and 18. So it will be between 10 and 18. That means it will be a little more cold. In the tropical region it will be above 18, and here in the subtropical region it will be below 18. Then what will be the result? The frost, sometimes it is there, but not every day, because the temperature is still strong enough. It is about 10 degree Celsius, between 10 to 18. Therefore some days there will be frost, but not every day. Then when we go to the temperate region, what is the temperature there? It will be very low again, between 7 degree to 17 degrees Celsius. In the annual temperature will be 7 degree to 17 degree, and in the winter it will be minus 1 degree to minus 10 degree. So it will be below zero, and there will be, the temperature is below zero, everything will turn to ice. All the water, everything will turn into ice, and therefore there will be frost and snow every day. So when the temperature, that is during the winter season, when the temperature is below minus, there will be frost and snow every day. And in the alpine area, that is very high altitude, in the mountain tops, the temperature during the year it will be below 7 degrees Celsius. During the annual year, the annual temperature will be below 7 degrees Celsius. And let's see in winter, in January, it will be below minus degree. And as a result, what happens? It will be always covered with snow. The entire area will be covered with snow. That's why Everest and so is always covered with snow, because it is a alpine region and the whole area temperature is very low and it is always covered with snow. That is what happens when the temperature is low. So we have learned different factors that are affecting the growth of natural vegetation. So we said because of the shape of the land that is affecting the growth of vegetation, and also the type of soil, it is affecting the growth of vegetation. And also under the topic climate, we said the temperature is affecting the growth of the natural vegetation. And still there are many more are there: precipitation, sunlight, and so on. We shall deal with them in the next class. So until then, bye.